Shall I move, boys? Shall I move to the next slide?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now we'll start with this. A vehicle is moving, boys. Say a car is moving along a leveled road. Generally, you have seen, right? A car moves along a leveled road, and then when it takes us, suppose along when you take a U-turn, that which means you're moving along a circular path. Now the picture is a car is moving along a leveled road. Generally, this is what is happening. When you want to take a U-turn, then the car is going to move in a circular path. So when the car is moving in a circular path, there should be a centripetal force acting on it. For any body for that matter, when a body moves in a circular path, there should always be a centripetal force, right? The force which is acting towards the center. Now, in this case, what provides the centripetal force? See, when you talk about electrons around the nucleus, nucleus is applying a force on the electron. When you're talking about moon revolving around the earth, earth is applying a force, gravitational force on the moon. But when a car is taking a circular turn, now what is going to provide the centripetal force? So it is the frictional force between the tires of the car and the road provides the centripetal force. That is the first part of the question. Boys, you should note, how is a vehicle able to move along a circular path? Because the centripetal force is provided by the frictional force between the tires of the car and the road. Then there should be some maximum speed. You children will be well aware of it, right? When you take a circular turn, suppose when you take a U-turn, do you drive with the same speed? Was I'm asking you.
No, ma'am, you slow down.
No, ma'am.
Will you reduce or will you increase?
Reduce.
Reduce. Reduce.
Yeah, correct. So for any is that so? See, you would have come across various U-turns. Might be if you take a U-turn or a circular turn, the turns might be some turns might be steep, some might be having a greater radius. The circular path might have greater radius. Do you travel with the same speed? So you have seen so many circular turns. The car can move along a circular turn. So is that so? All the circular turns with whatever it is, you drive with the same velocity.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So different turns will have different. You have to drive with different velocity. So look at the question. What is the maximum speed with which a vehicle can travel along a circular track safely? Is that clear, boys? So you will derive an expression for which when you drive a car and when you take a circular turn, right? What should be the maximum speed which you can, right? What will be the maximum speed with which you can drive so that you are safe? So this is what you are going to derive. Are you clear, boys? This concepts, why I'm repeating, very important from your examination point of view. Clear? Right, boy,
Yes, ma'am.
heading. Write the heading. Circular motion of a car on a level road. So it might come as a 3-mark question, or it might come as a 5-mark question with the theory derivation of say 3 marks. 2 marks might be for your numerical, right? So write the question. That's what I want you to write the question. Briefly explain how is a vehicle able to go around a level circular track. Second one, determine the maximum speed with which the vehicle can negotiate this curved track safely. The question is important, boys. This is how the question pattern appears to be. Aaron? Aaron? Aaron is here? Or this microphone is not working? Aaron, can you hear me? Okay.
Aaron is here,
but he's not answering. Abhishek? Abhishek? So Aaron is absent. Abhishek is absent. Austin?
Ma'am, I'm here. My laptop was reconnecting, so.
Okay. Is it Abhishek?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Abhishek, can you read out, is that the PowerPoint is visible for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read out. Read this out. Only the answer part. When a car negotiates.
Yeah. When a car negotiates a curved road, the force of friction between the road and tire provides the centripetal force required to keep the car in motion around the curve.
Oh, so this is the basic concept that everyone should need to know. Boys, write this. This is the answer for the first part. So whenever a car moves in a level road and takes a U-turn or moves along a circular path, the centripetal force is provided by the friction between the tires and the road. Right, boys? Boys, have you completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll go for the diagram because diagrams are very important. Boys, you have to have your diagram because a diagram do carry marks. So when you're writing descriptive questions, please keep this. Yes.
Can you go to the previous page for a minute?
Okay. Take the screenshot and put it, boys. See, boys, whenever you are writing a descriptive questions, I'm talking from board's point of view. Always a descriptive question should have the initialization. Sorry. Initialization means you are initializing, say, a car of weight mg is moving in a circular road. So this is what we call it as the introductory part. At least half a mark or 1 mark will be allocated for this. So if you miss this term explaining the terminology, then you lose marks. And second important thing, in all your board examination, even in grade 12, diagram do carry marks. So it should not be a freehand diagram. With proper scale and pencil, you have to draw. Okay, I'll explain this, boys. Now look at this. You need not have diagram of a car. You can have a block diagram. Can you identify the circular track? Now, just go for the highlighter. You have a circular track, right? The radius of the circular track is R. Now you have a car of mass of weight m into g moving in a circular track of radius r with a constant speed v, right? So look at this. The car is not, the body of the car is not directly in contact with the road. Now the car is going to exert a force on the road by means of its tires, right? The car is that clear for you all? We are not taking the four tires of the car. We are only taking the tires of the car which forms the rear part, right? We are just neglecting the tires which are on the front. I'm just taking only two wheels, right? Or the tires which are at the one which is facing you. Now look at this box. Your car, the car is going to exert a force on the ground, not directly, by means of the tires. Then the road will exert an equal amount of force on the car by means of the tire. Say, what is N1? N1 is the force, normal reaction. It is the force exerted by the road on the first tire, right? Then what is N2? N2 is the force exerted by the ground on the tire, because tire is exerting a force by means of the car. So N2 is what we call it as a normal reaction. Normal reaction is nothing but the force exerted by the ground on the second tire. Is that clear, boys? Is that clear? What is N1 and N2? N1 is the force exerted by the road on the first tire. N2 is the force exerted by the road on the second tire, right?
Ma'am,
Now,
ma'am, this is the back view, right?
Huh? Back view, yes.
Okay.
It's a, yeah, correct. Now, suppose if the
Ma'am,
car
is it back view or the side view?
Which one? Back.
Back. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, now look at this, boys. Now, if say the car is symmetrical, then N1, these two normal reaction is going to get added up to N, and this normal reaction N is balanced by the weight of the object. Are you clear with the concept of normal reaction? Was anyone in 11B who is finding normal reaction difficult?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Okay, yes?
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Like
Okay.
N1 is the tire below N1 is the first tire, right? The
Yeah.
tire facing the
Says circular
front
track.
part,
Yeah.
front tire, and N2 is back, right? Then this is side
No,
view,
no,
right?
no. These both tires are the back part of the car.
Oh, Prasanna, I got it where you didn't. You see those two curves, right? That's the track.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
it, got it.
What is this?
I thought the car was moving in a straight line, like
Yeah,
to the
that box
left.
is a car.
Okay, ma'am.
The red one are the curved track. I'm talking about the tires which are at the back. You are looking at the car, the back part of the car. So these are the two tires at the rear end.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? So what is N1? N1 is the force applied by the road on the car, on the first tire, and N2 is the force exerted by the road on the second one. Because I'm just looking at the last part of the car. And both these normal reactions are going to add up to N, and this normal reaction is balanced by the entire weight of the car. So these are N1 and N2. Now what is F1 and F2? F1 is the frictional force between the first tire and the road. F2 is the frictional force between the second tire and the road, because always frictional force is going to act between two surfaces in contact. One surface might be moving over the other. Okay. Austin.
Yes, ma'am.
Austin, see, centripetal force is a force which is acting towards the center when an object is moving in a circular path. Am I clear? Centripetally,
Yes,
suppose, okay, fine. Now look at this picture and tell me which are the forces which are going to contribute to the centripetal force. Do you understand? Centripetal force are the forces which are acting towards the, if you want, I'll draw a diagram. Body is moving in a circular path. The force which is acting towards the center is called the centripetal force. Right? Now this is a circular track. Because if I can go for this, this is a circular track, right? It goes like this. The car is moving in a circle. Now identify which are the forces which contribute to the centripetal force.
F1 and F2.
Yeah, correct. So your centripetal force, correct. So F1 plus F2 gives you what? Okay, F1 plus F2 leads to these two forces are going to contribute for your centripetal force because both the forces are acting towards the center. So F1 plus F2 must be equal to, Austin, must be equal to what? Centripetal force?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you tell me, okay, what is the expression for centripetal force? Just the previous slide, people were writing about it. What is that? F1 plus F2 must be equal to, just check, Austin, the previous slide. Okay, mv squared by r, fine. Now I'll call Ayan.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayan, what is F1? The general formula for frictional force. F is a frictional force. The general formula for the frictional forces, F is equal to mu into N. N is a normal reaction. Are you clear, Ayan?
Yes.
The frictional force, the general formula for the frictional force is mu into N. N is the normal reaction. Here, in this case, what is F1? How will I write F1? What is the general formula, Ayan? F is equal to mu into N. So what should I write? Mu is going to be the same because the road is going to be the same for both the tires. Say the tires are made up of the same material. So mu will be the same. So what is N? For F1, what should I write for N? Look at the diagram.
Ma'am, mu N1.
Okay, mu N1. Fine, good. For F2?
Ma'am, mu N2.
Okay, mu N2. Fine. It is mv squared by r. Clear? Okay, now Aziz. Aziz is here. Why, boss? I should put an absent today.
Ma'am, Aziz left.
Oh, sorry. Dheeraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dheeraj, now what is, just tell me the common term over here. What is the common term here, boys, in this expression? Dheeraj?
Mu.
Okay, mu. So mu into, what should I write?
N1 plus N2.
Okay, good. N1 plus N2 must be equal to what?
MV square by.
Now you tell me what is N1 plus N2?
Ma'am, it's equal to N.
So mu into N must be equal to, mu into N must be equal to mv squared by r. Okay, fine. Next, just let me know what is, okay, fine. Dheeraj, thank you. Dheeraj, thank you. Karan?
Ma'am, do we have to write any of this?
Hmm?
Ma'am, do we have to write any of this?
Yeah, 1 second. No, you have to, you need to write, but I just want everyone to answer. What is N? What is the value of N? Look at the diagram and tell me what is the value of N. What is the value of n? Harish? Harish?
Is it mg?
Yeah, it's mg. So mu into mg must be equal to mv squared by r, correct? Jatin? Jatin?
Yes, ma'am.
So get me an expression for what should get cancelled off here. Just tell me what are
Mm,
both the sides, which is the common factor. Jatin.
mass m.
Okay. Mass and cancel. Now, what is can you get an expression for v square?
B square is equal to mu r.
Mu r? Mu into r?
No, mu into r into g.
Correct. So what is v then?
Root of mu r g.
Correct. That's it. So this is the speed with which a car has to move in a circular turn without skidding. Are you clear, boys? Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I think so. You people have completed this, or should I go for the slides?
Ma'am, can you go back to the previous slide? I'll just take a screenshot. Yes, ma'am. Took.
Boys, have you copied this total friction F1 plus F2 is equal to mu into N? Have you all completed this?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Completed. Shall I go for the next one? But shall I move for the next one? Okay. Now look at this. For the car to stay safe in the road, the maximum force of friction must be equal or greater than the centripetal force. What does this statement stands for?
Ma'am?
Yeah?
Can you go to the previous slide? Just take a screenshot.
Huh?
Ma'am, can you go to, wait one second.
Was,
Okay,
now look at this. The maximum frictional force must be equal to or greater than the centripetal force. Why should the force of friction be greater than the centripetal force? Now look at this. Because if centripetal force is going to be more, then the car would collapse into the circular track, right? The car will collapse into the circular track. So your force of friction should always be greater or at least equal to the centripetal force. Are you clear what the statement means? If your centripetal force is greater than the frictional force, then the car will naturally go and collapse into the circular track. So the frictional force should be at least equal to the centripetal force or should be greater than the centripetal force. I think so. Here I have not, boys. Have you copied this when others were doing? This did you copy, boys? Mu into N1 plus mu into N2 is equal to mv squared by r, or I can write mu into N1 plus N2 must be equal to mv squared by r. So mu into N, that is the frictional force, must be equal to mv squared by r. So what is this mu? M into G must be greater than or equal to, yes?
Should we write this?
Or else what has happened is that in the previous case, we have only written F1 and F2. In the previous slide, we just had only F1 plus F2.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to go for all these things.
Okay, ma'am.
Or at least this much you have to I think so this much because it was not there in the previous case. So I have to go for mu into n1 plus n2 must be equal to mv squared by r, or mu into n must be equal to mv squared by r. So mu into m into g, because is equal to mv squared by r. Till this you have to write, and then later on you can, for the car to stay in. But once you have completed the previous slide, copy down all the
Ma'am, the greater than and equal to sign, we can just write it as equal to.
no, at least maximum, no, that.
All right, now.
Boys 11, B, anyone who is finding it difficult, this derivation?
Ma'am,
Yes.
I had a doubt. According to the formula, it's like higher the velocity, higher the friction.
Higher the velocity?
Higher the friction, like according to the formula you wrote. I mean, it is.
One second, the final, you're talking about the final expression?
Yes, ma'am.
In this slide or coming up slide, when you're getting an expression for V?
Ma'am, this slide itself.
Okay, higher the velocity.
Yes, ma'am. Higher the friction. Is that right?
No, the friction is going to depend upon the nature of the tire and the surface of the road. The friction depends on the factor mu.
Okay, ma'am.
I understand.
Ma'am, so what will be the concluding statement that
Okay.
velocity is...
Wait. Yeah, this one. So V squared, that is the velocity with which the car has to travel without skidding, is that it should be either equal to mu rg or it should be less than mu rg. So the maximum speed with which the car can travel, V maximum must be, look at this, boys, you know how to shift the sign?
Ma'am, it's break time now.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, you complete this, boys. You complete this. Tomorrow I have to go for the next one, right?
Ma'am, why is it the maximum speed? It can't be higher than this.
No, look at this. V squared can be either equal or less than mu rg. V squared can.
Ma'am, can you also upload the PPT, please?
Okay, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am left.
Yeah, exactly. But the recording's on. So.
Thank you, Taisir.
Thank you everyone for cooperating.
Thank you.